Campbell Toyota certified vehicles come with interest rates starting at 2.99%. Over 60 Toyotas to choose from, starting at $10,500 or $299 per month, including tax and fees. That's Campbell Toyota.
Introducing Nutri Chopper, the compact handheld speed slicer that cuts up to 10 times quicker than a knife. You can have one slice or 10 perfect slices at once. Nutri Chopper comes with the razor-sharp interchangeable stainless steel blades to make all of the cuts you want, and all incredibly quick. Mince a mound of onions and never have time for tears. And Nutri Chopper comes with a perfect portion container so you can slice, seal, and store it all in one. You get the complete Nutri Chopper set with blades and container with lids, all for just $19.99 with free shipping. Order now.
Are you stuck with a low credit score, causing you to be denied credit? Then do what Terrence did, and all it takes is one call to get started.
My score wasn't where I needed it to be. I called and spoke with one of the representatives, and we just had a good conversation, and I liked what he was saying.
Don't let a low credit score hold you back.
I'm seeing the deletions, and I'm getting the reports, so I know something's being done.
And make the call for your free credit evaluation.
Call 1-800-769-1078. That's 1-800-769-1078.
Give yourself a moment to get comfortable and cozy as you settle in for tonight's story, based on the Gospels.
Fall asleep now with Bible bedtime stories, exclusively on the Pray.com app.
Meteorologist Evan Hatter with you for an update on our severe weather alert day, starting off with a map that I'm sure you're familiar with by now, that active alerts map that we do have in place. Ice storm warning still in effect for the vast majority of our counties. Our only exception, Lawrence County in Kentucky, our West Virginia counties in that winter storm warning. The ice storm warning for Rowan County was let go earlier today, and we still have that winter weather advisory for our Tennessee counties and Lee County in Virginia. Temperatures dropping below freezing now for most of us. Jackson, Hazard sitting at 29. Harlan's at 34. Middlesboro's at 37. They've been seeing more in the way of just some regular old rain versus some freezing rain we've been seeing up this way. Pinpoint Doppler kind of zooming in, showing you some of those reports. The greatest area of precipitation now moving to the east of Hazard. Places like Jackson, Pineville, over to Paintsville, where we'll have a live report in just a minute. Prestonsburg as well, over toward the Inez area. You can see the main concentration of reports to the west and north. The only thing we're going to have to keep an eye on as we go through the nighttime hours is to see if this area right along, let's say parts of over toward Laurel County down into parts of McCreary and Wayne County redevelops. We could see some more freezing rain be moving in, but so far so good out there. Though the Mountain Parkway was a bit on the slick side a little bit earlier. We could see more scenes like that as we go through the evening hours. You'll definitely want to keep that WYMT weather app handy. You can actually scan this code with your phone, and it will take you to the link where you can download that app on both the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. We'll have more on the forecast coming up in a little bit, but first, let's take it over to Steve with an update on how the ice storm has been impacting eastern and southern Kentucky so far. Steve?
Evan, thank you very much. And this ice storm is not over quite yet. The warning, as of now, continues into tomorrow morning, and some areas are getting worse this afternoon. WYMT's Emily Bennett is in one of those areas in Johnson County where roads are freezing fast. Emily?
Yes, Steve, for the last 2 hours, a mix of snow and ice has been falling. Now, I'm right off of Kentucky 40, right near Paintsville State Park. Now, if you can see behind me, these roads are very wet. Now, just a little bit ago, they were actually covered with snow, but the plow trucks have been clearing them off and salting. Now, overnight, this region was not hit very hard. Roads were barely slick at all in Paintsville, but up towards the Flat Gap area, roads were covered with a thin layer of ice. Now, Kentucky Transportation Cabinet officials says you cannot let your guard down yet. The snow and ice mix is still falling in parts of our region, and the temperatures are still dropping, so roads will continue to freeze throughout this afternoon and evening.
As you travel along 23 and you're in the lower elevations, please, as you start up the mountains, be aware that the temperature is going to change as you get to the top of the mountain, and you're going to find different conditions. You can find more ice or snow at those elevations.
Now, Steve, I have been driving around this area for the last couple hours, and just a warning to drivers, these roads are getting slick quickly. When I was driving out to Flat Gap about an hour and a half ago, the roads were just wet, and then all of a sudden, within about 10 minutes, you could start seeing that snow and ice covering the road, so be careful out there. But for now, I'm live in Johnson County. Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Emily, thank you very much. Well, Wolfe County emergency management officials tell us so far no major accidents have been reported due to icy conditions. This video is of the Mountain Parkway early this morning. Officials say they began preparing yesterday, and as of this afternoon, a few calls have come into dispatch, one being a power outage, but crews are thankful folks in the county are staying safe.
Electric goes off, we usually try to hit that list, get priorities, people on oxygen, CPAC machines, everything like that. We always just try to make sure the community's taken care of and safe. So,
WYMT's Dakota Makris will have more on the road conditions up north in Wolfe County coming up tonight at 6. Now, it was, of course, much worse in central Kentucky, at least so far. Officials in Madison County say they had thousands of people without power because of the storm, and there were a couple of bad crashes on the interstate as well. Jim Stratman has the latest from Richmond.
Officials tell me that daylight has been a godsend for some of these crews so that they can actually get ahead of the road conditions and make sure that they're clearing debris of tree limbs out of the roads as well.
The precipitation stopping has helped quite a bit. It's allowed them to, continue to get ahead of the road conditions and ahead of the trees down. Daylight has helped as well.
I'm told the northern part of the county got the brunt of this winter storm, and that's where we were seeing the majority of the power outages. Thousands of people in Madison County went without power while crews worked to turn those lights back on. And at the same time, road crews were working on clearing the streets. I'm told the southern part of the county saw the most impact traffic-wise. A jackknife tractor trailer shut down all 3 lanes of I-75 in Berea. Officials say that even though the roads may look to be in much better condition, they can still be misleading.
It's about 25 degrees out, and I think last I checked we're at about 28 degrees on the road surfaces in the county. So we are seeing some icing on roadways.
And officials are still encouraging everyone to stay home unless you have to go outside. You really shouldn't. These roads are still extremely slick, and because of the bitterly cold temperatures, the salt can only do so much. Reporting in Richmond, Jim Stratman, WKYT.
Certainly looks much worse up there than it does around here. Now, for the latest on the ice storm, you can get information 24/7 on the WYMT News app, and we're making it easy to find if you've not downloaded it yet. Just put your phone on picture mode and hold it up to the code you see there on your screen. On the WYMT News app, you can always find the latest closings and delays along with breaking news alerts. Well, check out this video. A multi-car pileup involving more than 100 vehicles along an interstate in Texas left 5 people dead and several trapped in their cars. The pileup happened this morning on Interstate 35W after freezing rain and sleet fell overnight and into the morning, leaving roadways across North Texas slick. Pictures and video from a CBS News crew shows dozens of vehicles and dozens of 18-wheelers, some hauling trucks, smashed, toppled over, and stacked on top of each other. Well, 2 Missouri men were shot to death last night after a dispute over a firewood transaction. It happened along a Missouri highway. The incident began at a house in the city of Parkville, where the 2 victims met to discuss a firewood sale. The city's police chief said the 2 men left in a truck and the suspect followed them. Both vehicles then stopped along the 2-lane highway. The suspect allegedly shot the men in the truck and drove home. The man then called police and was arrested. House managers are expected to wrap up their arguments this evening in the second Senate impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump. The former president is accused of inciting the deadly January 6th Capitol assault, which lawmakers have relived during the past 2 days through video presentations, which several senators have described as compelling. Meanwhile, Trump's legal team is gearing up to present its defense on Friday. CBS's Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with the latest.
Today, House impeachment managers closed their presentation as they try to directly link former President Trump's words to the actions of the mob that attacked the Capitol on January 6th.
I thought I was following my president. I thought I was following what we were called to do.
We know who lit the fuse. Donald Trump told these insurrectionists to come to the Capitol and stop the steal.
Managers also argue Mr. Trump lacked remorse in the aftermath of the violence.
He will undoubtedly cause future harm if allowed, because he still refuses to account for his previous high-grade crime against our government.
House managers once again played the former president's past statements to make a case for a pattern of provocation.
When I said, like to bang him.
January 6th was not some unexpected radical break from his normal law-abiding and peaceful disposition. This was his state of mind. This was his essential MO.
Senators across both sides of the aisle have called the House manager's presentation emotional and compelling. President Biden also weighed in for the first time.
May have been changed, but
Senators, including Ted Cruz, argue the language of the former president doesn't come close to meeting the legal standard for incitement.
If words like fight and win and take back our country now satisfy the legal standard for incitement, then every political candidate in the country, all the way down to dog catcher, is about to be prosecuted.
Former President Trump's advisor, Jason Miller, tweeted that Mr. Trump's legal team will wrap up their presentation on Friday. They're expected to use the First Amendment as a key defense. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Some Senate Republicans say a vote on whether to convict the former closes down today. Pharmacies across the country starts today. The new program will distribute 1 million vaccine doses each week to select pharmacies. The goal is to reach underserved communities. The new initiative comes as millions of Americans search for vaccine appointments.
COVID, it's so much harder for the community to get to the doctor, and we're in a perfect proximity to help people that maybe couldn't have made it to one of the large clinics.
Health officials with the CDC say nearly 45 million doses of coronavirus vaccines have been administered in the U.S. as of yesterday morning. I will note here we are on standby to go to Governor Beshear. He's expected to announce some new vaccine distribution locations across the state. We will go to him when he begins talking about that. More than 10 million Americans have now received the second shot. The U.S. is nearly 27.5 million total coronavirus cases total. Our death toll is quickly approaching 474,000 Americans. Straight ahead on First at 4, the battle over Britney Spears' finances takes center stage in court. We'll explain why the pop star is locked in a legal fight with her own father.
And the latest on the ice storm and winter storm warnings that continue in the mountains through tonight. I'll have the latest coming up next.
This is breaking news from Wolf, Williams, and Reynolds. 80 to 90% of all people who apply for disabled Social Security or black lung benefits get turned down the first time. Half or more of those believe the process is over. Not so. That's where the experience of Wolf, Williams, and Reynolds can help. If you've been turned down for disabled Social Security or black lung benefits, call 1-800-446-0167. Get the process for relief started today. Wolf, Williams, and Reynolds.
Appalachian Wireless invites you to start the new year off with a bang. What better way than with a new Samsung device? The new Samsung Galaxy S21, S21 Plus, and S21 Ultra are the latest and hottest devices of the new year with great cameras, all-day battery life, and faster processors. The S21 is the phone everyone wants and will be jealous of. From now till the end of February, the new Samsung S21 models will be $400 off the Advantage plan at Appalachian Wireless and AppalachianWireless.com. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
Toyota always gives you more, but this President's Day weekend, we're taking it up a notch with the Get More sales event. Get more style, more technology, more safety, and now more money. Lease a stylish new 21 Corolla for just $129 a month. Get up to $1,500 customer cash on an exciting new Camry. Or lease a road-gripping all-wheel drive Camry for just $209 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance included. Get more for your money this President's Day weekend. Toyota, let's go places.
It's just a little shot. But the COVID-19 vaccine does more than keep you from getting sick. It will get folks back to work, get our kids back at school. It's a shot of relief, of hope. All we have to do, Kentucky, is keep doing our part. We can't all get the vaccine at once, but we'll all get a turn. Get the facts at kycovid19.ky.gov.